Sometimes it's not always possible to ride in the daylight. What are you going to do when it's dark? We're about to tell you. Let's get on topic. Hey everybody, it's Thomas with Get Out Arizona, and you are watching another exciting episode. Dare I say fantastic, intriguing,
optimistic,
thrilling, optimistic. Look at this friggin' guy. Episode of Toolbox Topic. And once again, we're at Trek Bicycle Store, West Phoenix in Goodyear, Arizona. Last week I said Avondale, but you know, whatever. They could still find it.
It used to be in Avondale, that's fine.
Yeah, Goodyear, Arizona. And once again, I'm with my co-host, Brandon Van Loob. And Brandon, how the hell are you?
Good morning.
You done shitting yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I thought it was bourbon, or bad sushi. It was actually a bag of chips.
Well, we're going to talk about this, huh?
Yeah, let's talk about it. What kind of chips?
Crinkle cuts?
Crinkle cuts?
Oh, yeah.
What brand? I mean, there's crinkle cuts all over the place.
Shit, I don't know.
Lay's?
Big bag brand?
Oh, Jesus. Mary and Joseph. Did it have, what was that, Lurusta or whatever?
I don't think so.
Listeria?
That's something.
Anyway.
It had death in it.
Right. There was death coming out of it, that's for sure.
Sprinkled with a light coating of death.
Oh, man. So we've all been there before, where we've enjoyed our favorite just a little bit too much, and it turns into a nightmare. So, but he's back on the mend. Look at him. Still no mustache, though.
Feeling good. Feeling light. I'm good.
That was his jab at me for feeling chunky. No, I'm joking, guys, joking. Anyway, so yeah, so once again, we're back here at the Trek Bicycle Store in West Phoenix, where the cool kids hang out, like I always tell you, and me. It is what it is. And today, if you haven't gathered, we're going to be talking about lights and my shitty Circle K coffee once again, because it's been a rough couple weeks, guys. I don't know what else to tell you. Without this sweet nectar of the gods, there could be murders. No, nothing that dramatic, but definitely some hostility going on. So Brandon has some stuff here that he's going to talk about that you have here at the bike shop. Bontrager stuff. I have some stuff, and there's nothing wrong with the Bontrager. Just isn't who has the better stuff. Just different options and everything like that. So Brandon, why don't you start us off? What do we got over here?
So these are the ones that I'm the most familiar with, just because we use them all the time here and we sell them. I have kind of a good, better, best lineup here of lights. Starting with the Ion 120, that's a battery-operated system, so it's
not rechargeable.
It's not rechargeable.
Interesting.
It's not very sophisticated, but it's great if you're just in the neighborhood and you don't have, it's tight quarters. You don't have to. That car doesn't have to see you from very far away.
Okay.
It will give you a little bit of illumination too. So maybe you're on that.
Give you a little bit.
Maybe
of what?
you're on that golf cart path. Illumination. What did I say?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
All right. So it will
I
give you a
thought
little
you said
bit
he was going to be sober for this episode, Thomas. God damn it!
I think I said all right.
No, you're fine.
So you can see maybe you're on a golf cart path or something like that.
Okay.
You'll be able to see a little bit, and it'll give you a little bit of visibility for cars. It has a nice blinky option on it as well. I think we can demonstrate these guys.
That would be referred to as a strobe.
Like blinky. I say blinky. I think it has a little disco strobe on there too. That one's good. So again, for tighter quarters.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And for a little illumination. If we move on to these guys are strictly for your safety. These will not give you any illumination on the path whatsoever.
So these are like running lights, basically.
These are daytime and nighttime running lights.
Okay.
I don't know if I can get, these guys will run. But these are nice and USB rechargeable, super bright, better for those more busy streets where perhaps a car can see you up to maybe a mile away. That works just fine. Did I mention USB rechargeable?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now if we move on to our most sophisticated one, this is a great setup here. This is the one almost everybody in the shop uses.
Okay.
1,300 lumens on this guy. Of course, USB rechargeable. These guys we're going to see for over 1.5 miles in the daytime.
Okay.
This is a madman. Also Bluetooth compatible and ANT Plus compatible, so you can link it up with your phone. You can link it up with
Should be with your Garmin too.
Garmin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And turn it on and off that way. A great runtime. You can go full bore at 1,300 lumens for like almost 2 hours on these guys.
Nice.
And then if you keep it in the blinky mode, like over 20 hours. so it's got a great run time. We use these guys if we're doing endurance racing and we need to be at, we have those night laps.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll put one of these guys on my handlebar, one on my helmet. It's fantastic. I can go full, no issues. I can go as fast as I can go with with no problem seeing the trail.
If you believe Brandon's in an endurance race, guys, it's all. No, I'm joking. He's a very accomplished rider.
I don't care what you say.
Most roadies don't.
But the nice thing is, what I think my biggest tip is having that helmet. If you only have one, have that light on your helmet as opposed to your handlebar.
Right.
Because a lot of times that trail moves faster than your handlebars
do.
So what you want to do is be able to focus where you're gonna be and not where your handlebars are now. So that would be my biggest tip for racing at night
very good
or
advice.
riding at night. I think it's fantastic. But great setup, super safe. Great if you're running on those long streets like we have here in Arizona. If you're on Indian School, they'll be able to see you for 3 miles out on this. We had stories where people, good stories and bad stories, where people have told us two things. That light's awesome. Where can I get one? And also, people have told us, your light's too bright. You got to turn it off. That's good news to me. I like that.
Yeah, I'd rather be seen.
Exactly.
Considering the drivers here in Phoenix are pretty much fuck faces, so not to mention some of the people on the trail who don't know how to adjust their lights. Now that's like annoying, and we'll get to that here in a little bit. So
just a brief rundown of what we offer here, and I think they're good sets. They're good sets. They're fine.
No, they are. And originally, when I found you guys 5 years ago, I had one of the older Bontrager sets that was USB rechargeable, and it worked great. I actually paid that one forward when I kind of developed my own little kit and everything like that, but there was nothing wrong with it. The only thing, if I were to have a complaint, is boy, that metal housing on the old ones. That shit got hot.
It got super hot.
It got really hot. So other than that, they worked flawlessly. So I can attest to the higher end one. So, all right, well, cool.
Not bad. Let's see what you got. You got a good spread of some different stuff that we don't see every day. That's for sure.
Yeah. So I do got a good mix. So this is actually, we'll start with this. So this is the Garmin rear tail light and radar. I love this thing. So when I'm actually riding out on the street, and granted I do ride extreme early hours on the morning, there's not a whole lot of vehicles. But what I like about this one is it can be seen up to 1.5 miles away. It has continuous and flash, which I use the flash. When the radar picks up a vehicle, it comes up on my computer. And it picks it up from about 300 yards away, and I've never had a false positive. And if the car is traveling excessively fast, it audibly lets me know that it's closing in really quick. But also what I like about this one is when that radar picks up a vehicle, the strobe pattern changes.
That's kind of cool.
And then as soon as the car passes by, it goes back to normal and everything. So I really like this. This is rechargeable. It's lasts me a couple, 2-3 rides. I mean, it's really good. I couldn't give you I've ran it till it's died type thing, but everything that Garmin said it would do, it's definitely done. It's been doused in water. It's handled the summer heat. So
is it just
really
the same beep on your Garmin that you get when you scroll through functions, or is it a
No,
different
it's
beep?
like a shrill when that car's encroaching really quick. So it's like a when there's a vehicle and you can see it gives you a little stripe on the side and you can see it and then it passes you. When it gives you that shrill, it's very, holy shit, this guy's hauling ass. So gives you a little bit of more they should be aware of this guy's, how fast he's going type thing.
So I'd imagine with that, you probably need a Garmin up 800 or above?
No, this will actually work with the 500 too.
Okay.
Yeah, and it has a standalone phone app. So for whatever reason, if you don't use a Garmin computer, you can actually use this with your phone. So
good.
Very versatile. I have a set of lights that are always on my Osprey hydration pack. I refer to these as chase lights if I'm out in the desert riding trails. But when I'm riding on the road, these are also going. They have continuous mode. They have 3 different flash modes, also USB rechargeable. These things are rugged, dude. They're not. Brandon actually dropped these before we get started.
I dropped both of them at the same time.
But they've taken their fair share of abuse, and not just wanton abuse, just on the trail and stuff like that.
And built-in clip too, so those are pretty much made to go on your pack.
Yeah, built-in clip. These things, I can't say enough good stuff about them. I got them on Amazon. I want to say they were like $18 for the pair. They last forever. And I have these. I have another set on my pack when I'm doing trail running and rollerblading and stuff like that. So that way, at least, no matter what, I've got some type of backlight going on so people can see me. Now, is Brandon was talking about putting one on his head and one on the bars. I actually have my Petzl headlamp, and I use this when I'm hiking at night, biking. It goes on my helmet. It fits perfectly. The thing I like about this one is it has rechargeable battery that detaches. So I have 3 of these, 900 lumens. This will give me 2 hours. It's so damn efficient though and bright. I've never had to have it on 900 lumens. Like I have it on the mid function. And the thing I like about this is if you hold it down, you can get that 2 light and then the brightest, and then it goes to off. So I typically have it there, and at nighttime it's actually very visible. And same reason that Brandon was talking, I wear this on my helmet, so when I look, I have light where I'm going, but I also have this bad mamma jamba.
How many lumens is that guy?
This will go up to 5,000. Okay, right? Captain Overkill. So this is actually made by Magic Shine, and I can't say enough good things about it. USB rechargeable. Their new version, so this uses micro USB, but their new version actually uses USB-C. But the nice thing also, this acts as a battery bank, so you can use it to power charge your phone and other items. It has an independent USB thing. So I typically run this in the medium setting in that 3,000 lumen. It uses a Garmin attachment, which you can get those on Amazon by the dozen on how you want to mount it. I typically have it angled down. So when people are approaching, especially on the canal path, or after I'm finishing my ride, more people are coming, I'm not blinding them. And that's one thing you need to be aware about. Using headlamps, lights on your bike and everything like that, you don't angle them straight out at people. You angle them down at the road. You have fucking jamokes who do that. And then you blind, and then when you sit there and say something, they're like, oh yeah, have a good ride. No, they were dropped on their head as babies. So this one has a strobe function and everything, and so does this one. So, but this one works really good, and I like this because, you know, I can use it
cool.
on,
like that's, I would,
on my bikes.
It's way too much for what I do, but if you're bike packing like you do and you need something for overnight,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, this. So when I hit the trail at 1 o'clock in the morning, this thing is still burning bright when I come off the trail at, you know, 5:30, depending on how far I'm riding and everything. And that's why I got this, because my night rides in the summertime, you know, are just, they're ridiculously long. But you have to have something like this, because if this goes out, if your light goes out, any of your lights go out, dude, it's a son of a bitch. Ain't no doubt about it. And I have 3 extra batteries, so even on my longer rides, I have the extra batteries in the pack, so just one goes out and I put it in a different pouch so I know to charge it, so that way I'm not charging the same one over and over again. But this one's also very comfortable just to wear on the head. Like I said, when I'm doing my night hikes, the full moon hikes, I have this one, and it works really, really well. Weatherproof, never had an issue with it or anything like that. So yeah, so these are just some of the options from different companies that you can use. It's even during the daytime, and Brandon, you made mention, you know, with these being running lights and everything like that, it's really a good idea. Now, I can't speak for other towns, but you know, as long as you've lived here and I'm a native, drivers don't see cyclists. They don't see motorcycle riders either, and you know, that's a large machine, you know. So it's always good to have some type of marker flashing, something people can see. It's no guarantee, but having any little extra that can increase your odds of making it home safe is always a good thing. So that's
I
why
don't
we
feel
always
good
preach.
anymore unless I have this guy
right
on my back, and even then it's still
Yeah.
not a sure thing. But if I forget it for whatever reason, I go back if it's not too long,
Right.
if I am not too far on my ride,
Yeah.
and if I did forget it or if my lights burned out, I feel
you feel
very
exposed. Yeah, absolutely, and that's a great word for it and everything like that. We joke around about doing stupid stuff on the trail, not so much on the road, not a whole lot of stupid stuff you can do on the road, but sorry, my fucking titties are sweating. It's humid as shit today. But as much as we joke around about that stuff, it's always safety first. Wear your helmet, use your lights. If you know you're going to be getting into some really good chunk and everything, possibly knee pads or, you know, elbow pads or forearms, depending on what your level of riding is and what you're doing. Cycling is a great sport, all facets of it, whether it's trail, enduro, road, mountain, downhill, whatever. But you don't want to get hurt doing it. Bumps and scrapes are part of the thing, but oh, son of a biscuit. There we go, safety dance. It's going to be par for the course on a long enough timeline, but there are some things you can do to help avoid serious injury. So, and safety is always first. So, all right. Anything else? Oh, and please, for the love of Pete, don't sit there and have that bullshit RGB that I see people on the trails with on their spokes and on their helmet. They got no actual good light, but they look like a friggin' desert jellyfish, and I seriously want to stab them in the face with a sharp stick.
Oh, maybe they're partying.
Dude, it's retarded. It's a dead of night, and you've got no visible light except this friggin' thing that makes you look like you're at a Club 54 rave. Idiots, because then you rude the ride for everybody else who's trying to do it. No, I'm joking, but still, it's completely retarded. Don't do it, please. All right, on that note, I think we summed up lights and safety, guys. There's really not a whole lot to it. Everybody's going to have their preference on how they want to have a setup. Just make sure you have a good, solid setup. This is not a place where you want to skimp. Just like helmets. Don't buy the $20 helmet from Walmart, because you'll probably end up like Forrest Gump if you get hit. Land on your head. Spend a little extra coin, get something that's rechargeable, get something that's going to be weatherproof, so that way, no matter what conditions, you'll always be safe. So, all right.
That's good.
Yeah, we're good. All right, guys, that's it. So, first of all, if you have any questions about the video, there's going to be a link down below for Brandon's Truck Bicycle Store, West Phoenix.
Thank you.
Go ahead and follow that link, give him a call, and you can ask questions of him or any of the guys that work here, or you can ask your question in the comment section, and I'll do my best to answer it accurately. No, not necessarily a guarantee there, but I'll do my best, because we're an interactive channel and we want to hear from you. If you feel that we've missed something in this video, chime in the comments below. Let us know the setup that you use for light and safety. If anything, some people who ride during the day just don't want to use it. Let us know what you're using, why you're using it. We'd love to hear from you. Also, don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell notification icon button, so whenever we post a new video, you'll be one of the first people to know. Also, follow those links to our social media, because then you can keep up on all the events for Get Out Arizona, including our group rides and our group hikes. So we can't thank you enough for your support, guys. We love you. We're growing every month, and we're very excited about that. So yeah, we've got some other great episodes coming up here between now and Christmas time.
Cool.
We're going to be talking about DIT shifting. We're going to have a youth segment, which should be pretty cool. Little bastards that suck you dry, like vampires, suck your money dry. You don't have kids though, Brandon, do you? See, mine are old, and I've already booted them the fuck out, so I don't have to worry about it. But for you that are still stuck, it might be an episode you want to watch. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about tech. Our Christmas episode, it's going to be very special. Brandon, you know what's going to happen on the Christmas episode. And no, he's not touching the Yule log, but he might touch something else. No, I'm joking, guys. It's a kid show. It's a kid show.
I don't think it is.
Good stuff. All right, guys, before this really gets off the rails, what do we always say? Be kind to yourself and others. Be amazing stewards out on that trail. And we have to ask, what are you waiting for?
Get out, Arizona.
Yeah. We'll see you on that next adventure. Take care, guys. Brandon.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
There it is. Whoop.
The
There it is. We're out.
We're out.